Hey! So on Thursday, I had a vague, low-level sort of headache all day in a kind of puzzling way. Pain meds weren't really doing anything for it, and I couldn't work out the source. It didn't seem to be sound or light or annoying children. It started way before the children, and I just couldn't quite place it. And then Thursday evening, I went and picked up 2 pairs of couch surfers. So I currently have 2 girls from Russia and 2 girls from Vietnam crashing on my floor and couches. They're nice, they're very friendly, they're lovely. Thursday night, around, I don't know, 11:30 or midnight, it abruptly resolved itself into excruciating tooth pain. So painful I couldn't sleep, which, like, come on, teeth, rude. I was very relieved, actually, glad. So just before I came to Korea 3 years ago, I had a tooth removed, and they gave me acetaminophen with tramadol, which is, I mean, it's not Percocet, but it's halfway there. And I was very, very, very glad that I hadn't used all of it and that I had brought it with me. Because I ended up taking half a pill. And then Friday morning, Carol, who's one of the women in the office, had mentioned at some point that her brother was a dentist, and if ever I needed anything dental-wise, I should let her know. So Friday morning I said, hey, what's he got? And the sooner the better. You know, I picked this street because I thought there would be less traffic. So she got me an appointment with him for Saturday morning. Friday I've been taking inadvisable quantities of mixes of painkillers and relying on the fact that I don't do drugs or alcohol to otherwise bother my liver. And, you know, just sort of hoping. So Saturday morning I went in, and as I expected, it's 2 root canals on my right side, one on the top and one on the bottom. He said, look, we can't do, and he speaks English fluently. He was in Michigan. He speaks English better than she does. He went to University of Michigan. In Michigan, of Michigan, whatever, both. So he said, look, we can't do 2 root canals at once, so we'll do one and get back to, like, we'll do the next after. So they did the first half of one, and when they got in there, they found more decay than they had expected, and not rampant infection, but infection. I told them to start with the top one because I was like, what the hell, you know? Might as well pick one to start with. So they cleaned it out and then put in something that's supposed to kill all infection, but it has to stay in there for 2 to 3 weeks. In the meantime, we made an appointment for Thursday to do part 1 of the second root canal. So that was Saturday. Fine. Saturday afternoon, there was some pain. Sunday, I went for barbecue with Alexis and the couch surfers. And on the way back, actually, I don't know if you can feel when you're about to get a fever, but I sometimes can. My skin suddenly feels way oversensitive and overstimulated in a way that it really only does, and I wasn't cold, but it's in a way that it does only when I have a fever. And normally I'd be like, oh, this is, you know, weird but not super worrying, but because he had mentioned that the tooth nerve, whatever, had been infected, I was worried when infection plus fever. So I went home and slept it off. Probably inadvisably taking NyQuil to just sleep through it. And then slept last night, and today texted him, and I mean, excruciating pain today. I took Aleve and Advil and extra strength Tylenol, and at a certain point, and it did almost nothing. And at a certain point, while I was teaching, I took the last half of my Tylenol with Tramadol, which finally I was functional, and now it doesn't hurt at this moment unless I poke it. But finally I was functional in my very last class. But honestly, with my third graders, I wrote a note for them on the board that was like, my face hurts, so we're having quiet class today. Use your indoor voices and please read the board. So we did. I didn't talk in that class, which was, I was very proud of the kids for being able to work through that and to do that, because they're a pretty needy class, but they were able to cope and to explain things to each other, which was very helpful. I mean, I had cloves. There are things about chewing cloves and sticking them there, saltwater rinses, nothing, just nothing. So finally, I guess the Tramadol must have kicked in. But I texted him and I was like, look, do you have anything at all tomorrow? So I'm going in tomorrow at 11. Because the thing is, in Korea, they don't prescribe painkillers. Either you're taking something over the counter, or you are in the hospital with a drip of some kind, but they won't let you take it home. The drug laws are really, really, really strict, to the point of major inconvenience, honestly. So, all's well that ends well. At the moment, I'm pain-free, thank God. And Galia, thank you for those Krimpets, because that's what I had for dinner tonight, because it was soft, and I could poke it to the other side of my mouth, and it had calories, which is, you know, good, useful for food. And I'll hopefully have the first half of a second dentist appointment tomorrow. Do you know, I read somewhere that it used to be a custom, I guess before World War I, that for a 20th or 21st birthday, people would get all their teeth pulled and made into dentures to prevent tooth decay. And my God, I should have done that. It would have been a very good idea. The good news of all of this is I had forgotten my insurance card on Saturday, which meant that he said, look, we'll charge you full price, and then when you bring the insurance card, we'll reimburse you. But full price for a root canal, $28,600. That's like between $25 and $30. That's, you can't even buy a good dinner for that in Philly. It was amazing. So that's good, you know. Of all the places for this all to come crashing down, I'm relieved it's here. All right, I'm nearly home, so I'm gonna sign off now. Bye.